This is a story out of Grand Rapids, but I'm sure we've had to face it here in Lansing, and we will again. They're making a big-budget comedy there, a movie called 30 Minutes or Less, shooting it in Grand Rapids. That sounds like fun, right? But that shooting needs security, right? And so where do they get the security from? Well, the Grand Rapids Police are working overtime, in fact, to the tune of $15,000 in 2 days to provide security. So 30 officers have worked 12-hour shifts overtime to take care of this movie. Now, the police officials, though, are saying that the production company is going to reimburse them for the cost of having these officers and paying them overtime. But the movie should be eligible for the Michigan Tax Incentive Program. So doesn't that mean if you draw a line from here to there that we're all paying for it?
We're all right back in paying for it.
Does it? I mean, is my math wrong on that?
That's it. That's the circle.
That's the new math.
Fuzzy math, like
That's
George
the
Bush
fuzzy,
used
yeah.
to say.
There you go.
You had an example of a
Oh, I
company?
was just one that struck me in the paper was a Lansing firm, the BRD Printing. They're doing a $800,000 expansion, and the kudos that I thought was cool about this whole thing is they're refusing tax incentive, all that they're self-funding and totally taking care of things themselves. And I thought that was a really cool step and a huge step towards the improvement of what they see in the economy for the Lansing area. Because if they didn't see improvements, something out there, they wouldn't be spending $800,000 on their own.
Yeah,
If
of
they
their
have
own
that-
money.
If they have that kind of expansion, have they said anything about employment? Are they going to have, is that going to expand jobs?
40 employee company will occupy 23,000 square feet with a new 40-inch press, whatever that means. But as far as job, I'm sure I would think that would lead
Sure
that
sounds
way.
like it.
Speaking
You
of
can't
jobs.
expand your footprint without
Right.
adding people.
Right.
Maybe
Yes.
Brinley knows the answer to that.
Well, speaking of jobs, we have Brindley Bird from Michigan Works here in the house, and Brindley's he's a great resource at Michigan Works for different programs in hiring the unemployed. And Brindley and I have been talking quite a bit over the last month. And then also Julie Mann from J Mann Consulting. She's an HR consultant, and the same thing. She and Brindley work closely together, and they've been very helpful to Doty Mechanical.
Do small companies come to you a lot for jobs?
Absolutely. Those are the ones we really want to serve because we know that the real job creation is done by small employers. Certainly in the construction industry, over 80% of the construction companies have less than 10 employees. That's Doty Mechanical all the way. And companies like Kevin Plumbing and others, where they have human resource needs. They have access to resources that are available through Capital Area Michigan Works. And my job there as the executive director of the Michigan Construction Career Council is to help those construction employers gain access to the resources that we have through Michigan Works.
I haven't heard of that, so I'm wondering how much small companies know that that's available to them. How do you get that message out to everybody, from both of you, with HR and with Michigan Works?
Well, certainly opportunities like this, which are greatly appreciated, as well as networking like Julie and I are today. How can an HR consultant then help her clients, new and existing, also tap into the same resources or become more aware of those things that are available throughout the community? So I think that's an important piece of the puzzle. Would you like to add anything, Julie?
Speak right into that microphone if you would.
Sure, absolutely. I think that's definitely, I met with, Peggy from Doty Mechanical, and as we talked about what an HR consultant can bring to that small business, it was fascinating. You do that time after time with small businesses, and they look at you and they go, oh my gosh, I didn't know there was someone out there like you to help with those types of things. Because from a human resources standpoint of view, once you have people things that you have to address, and the numbers out there, if you were to look at when does a company need an HR person, the numbers from the societies say that when you hit your 109th employee is the point that you need one HR person. That's the ratio that's out there for HR to employee staff. So any company under that technically could say, I don't need HR, but they do, because the people issues, once you have one person, you have people things and legislation and regulations that you have to deal with. So again, working with the small business, working with Michigan Works, creating this combined arena for everybody to be able to work together, because at the end of the day, we all want jobs in Michigan, and that's why we're here.
Exactly.
And I think people don't know that my biggest challenge is the people that work for me.
Oh,
It's not the
absolutely,
customer.
absolutely.
It's truly always daily there's a people issue.
But if you have one conversation with Julie, she will scare you to death of all the regulations that
Oh,
you're
I know.
probably not following in a
Right.
small business just because you're unaware.
Oh, really?
Very
And I
unaware.
just want to add, though, but that scaring to death isn't for a negative purpose.
No.
It's to be sure that you understand as a business, you need to stay on top of those things so that your business doesn't go under, which at the end of the day we don't want, obviously, for Michigan, because of one bad people move. And and unfortunately in today's litigious arena that can happen.
All of the networking that's being done right now, too, between small business organizations is wonderful. I think of the MSU eNet that's launching here shortly, Michigan Works, and so forth. All of these things coming together instead of having separate entities that are working independently. So I think that's great. Thank you for coming.
And thank you all for coming. Peggy Doty, Doty Mechanical, Heating and Cooling, Bob Hedlund from Hedlund Plumbing, Kim LaForette, Colwell Banker, Hubble Briarwood, and Cheryl Freeborough from Hyundai of Lansing. You can find us online, listen to it again, connect with the expert panel at spotlightmm.com. And on her birthday, Suzanne Heward, the founder of Mid-Michigan Business Rap, says,
That's a wrap.